English Leap Podcast.
From Speak English with Class.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Leap Podcast, your space to grow, speak better English, and build a confident version of yourself. I'm Erin.
And I'm Evan. So, Erin, how's your week been? You look like someone who just did something brave. What's the story?
Hey! You caught me. I actually spoke up during a big class presentation this week, and I really owned the room. My hands were shaking a bit, but I did it. And the best part? Everyone listened. Not because I had perfect words, but because I finally believed in what I was saying.
Oof, I love that. Isn't it crazy how confidence isn't about having everything perfect? It's just about showing up with what you have?
Exactly. And that's what today's episode is all about, how to be more confident. Not in a fake it till you make it kind of way, but in a real inner shift kind of way.
Yeah, whether you're learning English, trying to be heard more at work, or just want to stop second-guessing yourself, this one's for you.
And before we dive into all the tips and stories, don't forget, we've made a free PDF guide for this episode with exercises and reflection prompts. You can download it from the link below in the description.
Also, stay tuned till the end, because our girl Crystal will pop in with her vocabulary breakdown. She's picked some powerful words and phrases from today's episode.
So if you want to sound more confident in English and feel it too, don't miss that part.
All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about how confidence really works and how you can start building it from the inside out.
I think we need to start by clearing up one of the biggest myths about confidence, that it comes from how you look. Nope. Confidence doesn't come from having perfect skin, or great clothes, or even speaking flawless English. It comes from what you do.
Yeah. Let me say it this way. You don't think your way into confidence. You act your way into it. Real confidence shows up the moment you take action, especially when you don't feel ready.
Honestly, I used to think confidence was for certain people, the ones who were naturally outgoing or good-looking. But I've met people who look amazing and still feel like they're not enough. I've been that person.
Me too. I used to be the guy who looked like he had it all together on the outside, but on the inside, constant second-guessing. It wasn't until I started doing hard things, like applying for jobs I didn't feel qualified for, or speaking up even when I was nervous, that something shifted.
Exactly. Confidence builds like a muscle, by using it. The more you act, the more proof you collect that says, hey, I can handle this. Even if it's messy. Even if your voice shakes.
And for our English learners out there, here's a micro tip. Don't wait until your grammar is perfect before you speak. Say something, anything, even, I don't know the word, but I'll try. That is confidence.
And once you start taking action, there's something even deeper that begins to grow. And that's self-trust.
Here's something nobody tells you. Confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about believing yourself. And you build that belief by keeping the tiny promises you make to yourself.
Totally. Not the big dramatic goals, the small ones. Like, I'll drink a liter of water today, or I'll spend 5 minutes reviewing vocabulary. When you follow through, you send a message to your brain. I can count on me.
But when you keep saying, I'll start tomorrow, and you don't, your brain stops trusting you. And confidence without self-trust doesn't last.
I used to set all these big goals, but I wouldn't keep them. And I felt worse, not better. So I started small. One task, one win. And each time I showed up, I became someone I trusted more.
For our English learners, here's a tip. Pick one tiny daily habit. Maybe it's using one new phrase in conversation, or shadowing a sentence from this podcast. Do it every day for a week. You'll be shocked how quickly your self-belief grows.
Self-trust is the foundation of confidence. And once you have it, you stop waiting for motivation. You just show up because you know you'll have your own back.
But here's the thing. Even when you trust yourself, your confidence won't last long if you're constantly surrounded by people who drain you.
Oof, this one hits hard. If everyone around you is insecure, constantly negative, or afraid to grow, guess what? It rubs off. Confidence isn't built in a vacuum. Your environment matters more than you think.
I remember a time when all my close friends were stuck in the same loop, complaining, doubting themselves, afraid to try anything new. And without realizing it, I started playing small too, just to fit in.
Same here. I used to be surrounded by people who laughed at dreams. You want to do what? Start a podcast? Speak in public? That's not you. And I started believing them.
But the moment I met people who were bold, who challenged me, invited me into new spaces, made me uncomfortable in a good way, everything changed. I rose to their level.
And this isn't about cutting off all your old friends, but it is about choosing to spend more time with people who inspire you. People who have the energy, habits, and confidence you want for yourself.
If you're learning English, try joining a group or a class where people are serious about speaking. Being around that energy changes how you see yourself. Suddenly, confidence doesn't feel far away. It feels normal.
Because when you're constantly around people who show up, grow, and cheer you on, it gets a lot easier to do the same.
Exactly. But even with the right people in your life, there's still one voice that can completely mess with your confidence. And that's your own.
Oh, this one's deep. Because if you don't know yourself, like really know who you are, you'll believe whatever anyone says about you.
Facts. I used to let people define me all the time. You're too quiet. You're not confident. And I'd just accept it because I hadn't taken the time to ask, who am I really?
Same here. But when I started spending time alone, journaling, reflecting, even just sitting with my thoughts, I realized, wait, I do have something to say. I do have opinions. I just never gave myself space to hear them.
And here's the crazy part. The more you understand why you react the way you do, why certain things trigger you, or scare you, or light you up, the more confident you become, because you're not guessing anymore. You know.
For English learners, try journaling in English, even just a few lines a day. What did I feel today? What made me proud? It's double practice for your language and your identity.
Because once you start understanding yourself, you stop needing permission to be who you are.
Now, let's flip the script. Because some people think confidence means being the loudest in the room. But real talk?
Yeah, confidence doesn't yell. It doesn't show off. It just is. It walks into a room and doesn't need to prove anything.
Ugh, I love that. Because we all know someone who brags nonstop, right? But that energy feels more like insecurity in disguise.
Totally. I've learned that the most confident people I've met were calm, grounded, and present. They made eye contact. They listened. They didn't rush to fill the silence.
And body language matters too. Sit tall, uncross your arms, let people see your hands when you talk. These small cues radiate quiet confidence, and people feel it.
If you're learning English, pause more, speak slower. Don't try to impress with big words. Just own your pace. That stillness, that's power.
Because real confidence doesn't scream. It doesn't need to. It just glows.
But here's something we can't skip. Because confidence doesn't grow in hiding. You have to practice being seen.
Oh man, this one used to terrify me. I used to avoid eye contact, sit in the back of the room, stay quiet, just so I wouldn't be noticed.
Been there. But the truth is, the longer you avoid being seen, the harder it gets to show up.
Exactly. You don't have to give a TED Talk, but raise your hand, speak up in your next class, say something in a meeting. That one moment where you choose visibility over safety, that's the stretch where confidence lives.
And let's keep it real. People might judge, you might mess up, but the goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to show up anyway.
To all our English learners, speak in front of a mirror. Record yourself. Comment on videos. Send voice notes. Just put yourself out there in tiny ways.
Because every time you let yourself be seen, you teach your brain, it's safe. I'm okay. I can do this.
And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most powerful piece of the puzzle.
Yes. Because if you're waiting for other people to validate you, you'll always feel like something's missing.
Yep. I used to crave praise from others. Did I do okay? Was that good enough? And it left me feeling empty, like I couldn't breathe until someone approved of me.
But when you start cheering for yourself, saying, I did great after a presentation, or, wow, I handled that conversation well, something shifts.
Now, every morning I look in the mirror and say, "Girl, you're doing amazing." It might sound silly, but it works. Because your brain listens.
Exactly. If you wouldn't say harsh things to your best friend, why say them to yourself?
And English learners, say encouraging things to yourself in English. I'm getting better. I'm proud of me. I'm not perfect, but I'm improving. That counts as practice. And healing.
You have to be your own hype person, your own comfort, your own celebration.
Because when the love comes from you, no one can take it away.
What a powerful way to end it. I hope this episode gave you something real to hold on to. Not just to sound confident, but to feel it too.
And if you want to keep growing your confidence in English too, well, it's time to hear from our favorite language guide.
Yep, Crystal's here with the vocabulary breakdown, where she'll explain some of the key words and phrases we use today, so you can sound more natural and express your confidence clearly in English.
All right, Crystal, take it away.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Evan. And hello again, lovely listeners. Let's take a gentle pause to explore some words that help us express confidence, not just in English, but in life. Let's start with a feeling many of us know. Insecure. To feel insecure means to feel unsure about your worth, your value, or your abilities. Example: she felt insecure about speaking English in front of the class. Say it gently with me. She felt insecure about speaking English in front of the class. It's okay to feel that way. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. Now, a word about what happens when we hesitate too much. Second guess. To second guess means to keep doubting yourself or your choices. Example: I second guessed my answer even though it was correct. Let's say it together now. I second guessed my answer even though it was correct. The mind overthinks, but the heart knows. Next, something we often pick up from the people around us. Rub off. When something rubs off, it means we absorb it from others, their habits, moods, or energy. Example: his calm attitude rubbed off on everyone in the room. Repeat after me. His calm attitude rubbed off on everyone in the room. Choose people whose peace becomes your peace. Now let's look at something deeper. Something that suddenly brings up strong emotions. Trigger. A trigger is something that causes a strong emotional reaction, often linked to past pain. Example: loud arguments always triggered her, even if she wasn't involved. Say it gently. Loud arguments always triggered her, even if she wasn't involved. Awareness is power. When you name it, you can heal it. Now, a word that speaks to self-discovery. Identity. Identity is your sense of who you are, your story, your values, your truth. Example: traveling helped her reconnect with her identity. Let's say it slowly. Traveling helped her reconnect with her identity. You are not lost. You're learning who you've always been. Now let's shift to presence, not volume. Yell. To yell means to shout loudly, usually from anger or urgency. Example: he didn't need to yell. His silence said everything. Say it softly with me. He didn't need to yell. His silence said everything. Confidence doesn't need to shout. It just needs to be. This next word is about what's often hidden. Disguise. A disguise is something used to hide the truth or pretend to be something else. Example: her smile was a disguise for how hurt she really felt. Now you. Her smile was a disguise for how hurt she really felt. Sometimes what looks fine is just someone trying to hold it together. Now a feeling that stops many dreams before they start. Terrify. To terrify means to cause deep fear, the kind that makes you freeze. Example: the idea of public speaking used to terrify him. Let's whisper it together. The idea of public speaking used to terrify him. But here you are, learning, facing it, and that's courage. Now, something we all secretly crave. Validate. To validate means to make someone feel seen, accepted, or understood. Example: her teacher validated her effort, even though the answer was wrong. Say it gently with me. Her teacher validated her effort, even though the answer was wrong. You deserve to feel valid, even before anyone says so. Let's move to motion, the power of simply being there. Show up. To show up means to take action, to be present, even when it's hard. Example: he didn't have all the answers, but he showed up every day. Say it again. He didn't have all the answers, but he showed up every day. Showing up, especially when no one's watching, that's where real confidence begins. Now, something bold and empowering. Own something. To own something means to take responsibility and hold it proudly, whether it's a choice, a moment, or a space. Example: she owned her decision to change careers. Let's say it together. She owned her decision to change careers. Confidence isn't borrowed, it's claimed. These words are more than definitions. They're mirrors. They're anchors. They're yours. Speak them. Carry them. And when you forget, come back. I'll be here.
Thank you, Crystal. That was beautiful. As always, I swear I could just replay that section whenever I need a little confidence boost.
Same here. And to everyone listening, we hope today's episode reminded you that confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you build.
One step, one word, one moment at a time. Whether you're showing up for yourself, setting boundaries, or just speaking your truth, it counts.
And hey, if this episode helped you, share it with someone who needs a reminder that they've got this too.
You can also grab the free PDF guide for today's episode. The link's in the description.
We're proud of you. Seriously. Thanks for being here, and for choosing to grow with us.
We'll see you in the next episode of the English Leap podcast. And until then, stay kind to yourself and keep speaking up.
Bye for now.